Welcome. My name is Sandras Phiri. I am here in Cape Town, South Africa. And today we're going to talk about playing a bigger game. Today we're looking at how do you play a bigger game in the vocational space. All right, vocational power. And you're going to learn some new things that you haven't learned before. I can assure you of that. So it's really good that you joined today. And when it comes to vocation, we're talking about power in the areas of business, career, being a professional. That's what we're looking at. And then we start with the fears. Like, what are the types of fears that people have when it comes to this area of life? Okay, so the fear here is really just fear of failure. People are afraid that they're going to fail, so it's a fear of failure. Then how do you get rid of that fear of failure? How do you do that? A number of things to do. One of them is to really just focus on what's important to you. What is it that you want to build, and why do you want to build it? And then if you're focusing on your mission and what you want to do, that fear reduces. And then the second thing to do is to know the level where you are and what you need to do next. That helps reduce the fear, as well as surrounding yourself with mentors and like-minded people to help you move up. All right, so the other thing that you do to get rid of this fear is knowing what to do next, saying, what are you going to do next to move forward? What are you going to do next to move forward? When you don't know what to do next, it can be scary, it can be intimidating, and this makes entrepreneurship or building a business really, really difficult and uncertain. Ways to move up in entrepreneurship or in your career. Okay, number one, know thyself. There are different types of entrepreneurs. So there is a wrong belief that you only need to be a certain type of person to be an entrepreneur, that entrepreneurs are born, you can't be just if you got it, whether it's just that you got it or you haven't got it. That's what a lot of people believe, but that's not correct. Okay, Albert Einstein said, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will go through life thinking that it was stupid. Okay, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. So you are a genius. Okay, everybody is a genius here. This is so cool, and it is really, really just it's empowering, but also it's free. Okay, so what's your genius? According to Roger Hamilton, the creator of this system, is that there are 4 types of main geniuses, which is dynamo genius, blaze genius, tempo genius, and steel genius. And the dynamo is intuitive, head in the clouds, and the tempo is sensory, ear on the ground. And then blaze are people, extroverts, and then steel are introverts. And then you have some that are in the sides. So when you look at it like that, there'll be 8 types of profiles, wealth dynamics, that's the system. And you have the creator, who's an ideas person, then a star is a front man or front woman, and then the supporter is somebody who's looking at team. Then the deal maker has got win-win deals, you're looking at win-win deals. Then the trader buys and sells. Then you have the accumulator. The accumulator is looking at assets, and then the Lord is about cash flow. Then you have a mechanic who looks at systems. So a lot of times people are just looking at the ideas person as the entrepreneur, but all of these 8 profiles are entrepreneurs, but they make money and create value in different ways. They make money and create value in different ways. A lot of times people just look at creators and say, everybody must be a creator. So according to Roger Hamilton, this is the wealth formula. Wealth equals value times leverage. Wealth equals value times leverage. That's how you create wealth. As you can see there, that you have 8 types of entrepreneurs, according to what we said earlier, but these are all billionaires, and how they make money is in different ways, or how they make their money is in different ways. And you will find that on opposite ends, they make money in almost the opposite ways. And very, very important. Why this makes a big difference is that now you know that you need to read a certain type of book, or you need to follow a certain type of person because you're similar. For instance, somebody will tell you that read Richard Branson, and you try to read the book, you can't finish it. And then somebody else says read Warren Buffett's book, and you try it, but you cannot. Or somebody says read Oprah, like that. Because we're all different. So we resonate with different people. As now looking at the wealth formula, you have V times L there in the center. You see on top that you create value by innovation. At the bottom, you create value by timing. Then you leverage using the two on the sides. You multiply or you magnify. Magnifying means to make something really big. So where things only work through you, or you make really big stuff, and multiply is where you make a lot of things and you multiply things. And so looking at this, you'll see that Richard Branson creates stuff. He's got over 300 companies, right? And he doesn't run them. Then Oprah has got how many companies? One company, but shines the light on other people and other products. Then they're supported there. Jack Welch, and he is looking. He didn't have to create a company. Or Steve Ballmer, he didn't have to create a company. Worked for Microsoft and became a billionaire. Worked for another company. Then you have Masayoshi Son. Masa Son is a deal maker. So he creates deals very quickly, can calculate and try to see the value very quickly. And at the bottom there, the trader is George Soros, who knows when to buy and sell. And he bankrupted the Bank of England because of his excellent timing. And then you have Warren Buffett on the bottom left, and on the right there, and on the left and the bottom. Warren Buffett creates value by buying and holding. How many companies has Warren Buffett started? Type in the chat box. How many companies has Warren Buffett started? I'd like to know. You can type in the chat box, we'll come to the answers. And then you have a lord there, Ambani, who made a fortune in steel, but didn't have to actually on the mines. Sorry, that's Lakshmi Mittal. Didn't have to actually own the mines for the longest time. And then you have on the top left, we'll have Mark Zuckerberg, who built a great system that is Facebook now. And you see, everybody's method is different from the other person. So very, very important to know what your method is and what to follow, because that's your natural path. Okay. So Warren Buffett actually created 0 companies. Even Berkshire Hathaway, he bought, and then he's been buying companies for the longest time. So like pretty much owns Coca-Cola and Gillette. And these are African examples of billionaires in the different profiles. Number 2, to level up, to move up in your career or business, you need to know that level. Okay, there are 9 different levels of leadership. This is a game changer. This again was created by Roger Hamilton. Says that looking at these different levels, you have the personal flow prism, the market flow prism, and the global flow prism. And with this, all the world's money goes through these prisms, different levels. Okay. Now, when you look at the diagram on the right, you will see that starting with infrared the people at infrared would be, well, the other name is called victim. The infrared, how we know infrared is to tell whether you're at infrared or not is to see if you're getting worse and worse into debt every month, you are infrared, most likely. And here it doesn't mean, it doesn't got too much to do with like how much money you make or what. I've coached people who are managers of companies and they're infrared. And then also you do have people who are billionaires and they go into infrared. And then, but the wonderful thing is that you can get out of infrared very quickly. So infrared, you work hard or you don't work actually a lot of times and you have no money coming in. So you're getting worse and worse into debt. And what is common at infrared is that a lot of infrared people have a lot of opinions on everything. And they're the ones who give comments about everything and they would blame. They blame everybody, they blame and they deny. So if you are an infrared, it's not the right time to start a business. Very, very important. Infrared is not the right time to start a new business. Here, it's easier to get out of infrared by just connecting with people already making money. So you just get a job, join another company and you get paid, then you'll be out of infrared. If you got debts, you just start paying off the debt or sell some of your assets and get out of infrared. And then at infrared, when you're trying to sell or get business, it's very difficult because the vibration is very low at infrared, that people don't actually get inspired. And there, the people are just have a lot of just ideas that are out of touch with reality a lot of times. Okay. Not all the time, but a lot of times. Good news, you can get out of infrared very quickly. Then the next level is red. Red is the survivor. So survivor is where you work hard to end up with zero. Every month you make money and you spend the money and you end up with zero. There's nothing to save, nothing else. But there it's really, you know how to work, but you need to be told what to do. So when you're working there, it feels like a treadmill. And then if you have a business, you will know that the people are red and the people are red. You don't ask them like, I want you to come up with your own schedule and tell me what you want to do. It's stressful for infrared and red, because there they just depend on you to just tell them what to do. Okay. At red, you tell people what to do and they'll do it. Then if the stuff is finished, they do nothing. So you have to you keep telling them what to do. And then one level up, orange, is the worker. So orange now, that's where you have like people who are supervisors, or there you've managed to specialize in something. And then you work, you got some little money left over, and here it feels like hard work, and that's the identity. You feel like you're working really hard and you're making a difference because you're contributing. And this level, it feels good as well because you measure things like, I worked hard. Okay. So with infrared, with orange, there, if you're at orange, you might want to get out to yellow, because if you're running a business and you're at orange, so if you're running a business at orange, red, or infrared, any business problem becomes a personal problem that you have to worry about. Any little thing that's happening to your business is happening to you personally, because really the business depends on you and your financials are combined a lot of times, even if you have a separate business account and company account and personal account. Then, so those are the three in the personal prism, personal flow. Then you move now to yellow. A yellow level, it's called the player, because now you figured out, you know how to make money. A yellow, you are a specialist. You can make things happen as an entrepreneur. You could be a consultant. You can create things and price things and make some money. And there's freedom at yellow. And the difference between yellow and orange, that yellow now feels like, wow, I'm getting all this money for just this. It almost feels like cheating, because now you could have been an employee in a company, right, at orange, and they pay you your salary, say 50,000 Rand a month, or say $3,000 per month, right? But when you move to yellow, you and consulting the same company, you find that actually they'll pay you 50,000 for consulting for 5 days. It's like, what? As an employee, I was working for this money for 20 days. Now, as a consultant, I get paid this for just a few days. That's what yellow feels like. And it's really special. And that could hold you back from moving to green. And then green is the performer. And the performer at green is where you are now part of a band. Yellow is like you're playing music alone. Everything is dependent on you. Green is now you're part of a band, meaning you are at what yellow. One person is doing everything. Even when you're a business at yellow, everything depends on you. Okay, people need to check everything with you. They need to ask you all the decisions. They need to ask you if you're running a restaurant. You'll be like, oh, the customer said they ordered a Fanta instead of a Coke. What do I do? You have to make all those decisions, right? And then at green, it's like now instead of playing music alone, you're part of a band. You're part of a band, and you are the drummer, and you have somebody who's playing lead guitar, bass, drums, and who's doing the vocals, all of that. And so there at green, you have a team. You're delivering as a team, and there, every person does one thing. Whereas a yellow, one person does everything. Okay. And then at green, why it might be hard when you're yellow to move to green is that at green, you feel you lose the freedom because a yellow could do whatever you wanted. At green, now you need to, if you belong to a band, you need to show up for practice. Yeah, and then you can't change the song whenever you want. So you need to play the songs that have been practiced and rehearsed, and you can't just do your own thing. Whereas a yellow, you can just decide like, I'm not working today. And then clients will wait. Then you move from green to blue. Blue now is the conductor. So at blue, you get your freedom back because now at blue level, you have multiple teams. You don't even touch the instruments as the conductor. So as a conductor in music of an orchestra, you actually face your orchestra. You don't even face the audience. That's the wonderful thing is that you don't even face the audience. You just face the your band, your orchestra, and that's what you're focusing on as the conductor. And there it feels amazing. And that's the level where a lot of multimillionaires and billionaires would be there at blue levels conductors. And that's the time where you can have multiple teams. So a lot of people at infrared make the mistake of the infrared red, orange, yellow. They make a mistake of trying to have multiple companies too early. When you have multiple companies too early, you can't grow any one of them to be a multimillionaire very easily. It's like trying to push so many balls up a hill. Some will keep dropping, and then some businesses are draining money from the other businesses, and it keeps you back in the same position. So when you get to blue, you can have multiple businesses and they run. So people like Richard Branson are in the blue indigo levels, and there you could have multiple teams and a capable person that runs your business. And that, as a conductor of an orchestra, when any of your orchestra members make a mistake or they're not there, you don't stop and go and do it. So if first violin is making a mistake or is not there, the conductor doesn't say, okay, I'll go and do it myself. Same thing at the blue level is that if you don't have a marketing officer, you don't say, I'll go and do it. You just leave the position open and you find a marketing officer, chief marketing officer, or if you need a CFO, that's what you do. Whereas at other levels, you step back in to do it. Then indigo is the trustee. The trustee is now you have your name means so much that if you just say something, people trust you. You've earned your trust. So you do have like the billionaires now are in that at that level where at Indigo, where if Elon Musk says I'm going to start the boring company, he can just raise money because he's got trust. If Bill Gates said I'm buying up farmlands now, people say, oh, cool, I'll do that with you because they trust. And so you earn your levels, your rights to trust, and then also There you can do amazing things and move, change the world in a big way. Then the level after that is the violet, which is the composer. So the composer writes the notes to the music that we play. And there, a lot of times, unfortunately, composers generally would be politicians because they would say how we do business. They, okay, tax is going to be 14%. We're moving it to 17%, and that changes. Say we're going to implement exchange controls. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. They write how the notes to how we play the music. So they tell entrepreneurs how to do things. Then then you have ultraviolet, which is the last one. There is the legend. So there, interestingly, the ultraviolet people are not even like, don't necessarily have to be billionaires. They could be, but they are legends that that mark like a generation, or they're remembered for something. So people like Steve Jobs, Mahatma Gandhi, Mandela, Mother Teresa, like that. Those are legends. Like, but the Queen, and if these people want something, they they just say it and it will happen, right? Give an example. When Mandela said, "Oh, I want $1 billion to do this," then Bono will put up a show, and Oprah will do something, and then this and that, and then the money is made. So these are the different levels. Where do you think you are? You can type in the chat box. Infrared, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, ultraviolet. Okay. Again, if you, this is like just um a scale. Sometimes people don't like it to say, "Oh, you're saying I'm this," but it will give you an idea of where you are and what to do. Okay. So I've talked about what you need to do at all of these different levels. Okay. And what the identity feels like at each one of these levels. Okay, so let me read this as you type in the chat box. You can let me know what you think. Daniel says, I think orange. So infrared falls deeper in debt month after month. Infrared comes from separation, and the steps out come from discipline and duty. You need to fix the plumbing before filling the pipe and setting up the habit of paying yourself first. So if you don't fix the plumbing, it doesn't matter how much water or money you throw in, the money will just get lost. Red makes just enough money to have nothing. You may even have a successful business, but if you're just surviving personally, every business problem becomes a personal problem, which means you are your business' greatest liability. Orange is someone who works for a living, whether you're in a job or self-employed. When you're orange, you have to work hard to earn a living, and you don't know how to multiply your income. An orange word is about action, not attraction. Yellow is empowered to forge your own journey. You know how to create value, leverage it, and make money in your niche. You have created a level of freedom, but your earnings are limited as you and your enterprise still rely on you more than others to keep things flowing. Green enables enterprises. Leading a team profitably is entirely different from self-employment, but the rewards are exponential. While yellow works from outside in, green works from inside out, leading to high-performance teams and enterprises. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, everybody. It's really, really, really brave to share this. And then what are the next steps? The third way of doing this is focus on next steps. Focusing on next steps means just moving, like putting another zero. So if you got one client, you just move to 10 clients. If you got 10 clients, your big aim is to get to 100 clients, and just like that. So multiplying by 10. So mistake that a lot of people make here is that if you got zero and now no clients, you say, I want to get 100 or get 1,000 or million. It doesn't work like that. It is a mistake to do that, to try to jump. Okay.